minute earlier. I think it's better to be early than late, right? So I'm just going to check if there is any filter that I can use because it seems like it's overexposed. So not right. So anyway, I'm just going to just let this not go away. Hi, my name is Esti. I'm a Singaporean living in North Sweden in a little city called Skellefteå. So today my topic is going to be how I handle stress when moving from our home to the summer cottage. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I make videos mostly about mental health and then sharing good stuff with you guys. As you can see, I am in a summer house environment. I think last week I put up a video about how we redecorate this place. So this is how it looks like. So I'm going to just talk about this stress that I'm dealing with lately, moving from home to the summer house, which is a blessing. It is not so far, so it's just 2 kilometers. Uh, but there's a lot of stress when moving. It doesn't matter whether you are moving from for what reason. Some people they move because they are separated from a relationship, whether they are moving because they have to change a job and move to another place. So moving always is a headache. So I have that problem too, and I'm going to share with you how I deal with it. May not be a real expert here talking about dealing with stress because uh, sometimes I'm not really good in that myself, but it is possible to handle them. I think the most important with stress is that if you didn't plan your movement or or you know you never schedule it and then have them written down on papers like what are you supposed to bring with you. I think that is really important. If you don't do that, you know, your mind is like full of like clutter. You have 1,000 and millions of things to remember, and I think the best way is by writing it down. For us, we are staying just 2 kilometers from this cottage. So for us to go back to get stuff that we need or missed is not that difficult. So we either walk there, cycle, or we take the car, and it's just a few minutes away. But it's still very troublesome, like to go in and I mean there and come back, you know, through can be really stressful because sometimes uh, you know, smallest things when you're cooking. When I was cooking, oh, I forgot to bring salt, I forgotten to bring sugar, so how, right? So you have to go to the either the shop or go back home. um, how I handled that, that is a big question, and I think I'm still learning. And I noticed that patience is very important. You have to have patience. Sometimes you cannot just expecting like that. um, so plan and then prioritize things that are most important first. Like for us, I'm going to give you a really short tour about this cottage and why I say that, you know, moving here is very stressful because from our home to here, even though we have everything here, we have clothes here, we have no food here because here is totally it's not, this cottage is not meant for living all year round. So some of the things like food sauce, you cannot keep them because they will be frozen and they will turn bad. So for me, I notice just before moving, I always have a list of stuff like, okay, these are the things that I need, which is prioritized, which because when we move here, we were painting this, and then we need food, right? Because there's no water, there's sometimes no electricity, so it's better to bring food. So I think food before moving is very important. If you can prep food like in advance, so food that are prepared, you just need to warm them up with a microwave. um, and I think that is very important, even though like snacks is also very important, because as you are moving, you use a lot of energy, and your mind is like all focusing on moving, and then you get hungry, your sugar level go down, and that is where you get very snappy, very bitchy. Like for me, I can get really snappy, I get frustrated very quickly. So I think always keep something that you can eat, like not just food but snacks, and so also some drinks that like coffee or tea that can keep you going. Some people, they like to drink energy drink. That can be too, provided it is healthy. So for us, to move here is basically the food, the clothes, because we have summer clothes, uh, and then also some of the things like bed sheets, towels, um, yeah, things that we really need. And then before we move in, because this place is like closed for one whole year, right? So it's very dusty, so you need to dust this place, like clean it very properly. So there's one thing that I really like, and we invested in. I'm not trying to promote any brand, but I think this is a very good. You see this vacuum cleaner. This is we call that the cordless vacuum cleaner, because I do not know about you. I really, when you're moving, you're so stressed already, and you have to pull this vacuum cleaner all over with a wire. Sometimes it's like coming up to the nerve. So I think this one is a really good investment. It's not that expensive. So what you do is that you just use it for, like for me, this vacuum cleaner, I only use them indoor. So I don't have a cot with that. So I can, more effectively clean the place timelessly. So I would say this definitely is a very good investment, especially if you're moving back, and there's this house is like for one whole year nobody's there. It's like cobweb everywhere, and there are, small insect all those corners. So this is very 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 good, that you want to suck in all the dirt and any insect. So I think planning plays a very important. I'm going to quickly show one room by one room and tell you what are the things that I do that make it much easier for me to plan. Like for example, this is, I'm going to flip the camera so you can see what is in front, all right? So this is our living room, calm dining room, and TV room. And this is where we chill out. So this is how it looks like after painting. So before that, we have this white wall. Now we have this green wall on this side. So we are just experimenting and see how it goes. So overall, it's I like this green. LG was suspecting that it may be too dark. What do you guys think? Is it too dark? I think this is quite a nice color. Yeah, maybe a little bit to the darker shade, but we like it. So for us, it just take one whole day to paint these two layers with, I think it was like 2.5 liters of paint. So it was quite satisfying. So before we move in, I told LG, I said we have to paint this first before we could move in, because if you move in already, you have all your stuff, and then you have to take out everything, because when we move in, all these walls, all these shelf is without anything, so it's easier to move everything out, the sofa, the cabinet, we remove the shelf. So we start all over again, painting everything. So again, it's like a one whole day work, but it's definitely worth the result. So this is the living room, and here is the kitchen. The kitchen is pretty small. Like this kind of food, I have a list like, okay, what are the things that I need for the kitchen? I cannot bring everything to the summer house because this kitchen, as you can see, is not really that big. It's quite small. And then there's not so much of a storage, unfortunately. So we made this shelf just recently because, for me, I like to cook. So when I don't have enough place for keeping or storage, I will go crazy. So I reorganize some of the things because previously we have this coffee cups and this glasses. It was all crammed into this cupboard. This is a very, very small cupboard. You see? So now I said, okay, now since we have this, we must well just use that one for all our utensils. So you see, moving, cleaning, all this, you have to take out all the old stuff and then rearrange it. So it takes, like, for me to do this kitchen is like a half a day. Not that difficult, but it's still a lot of work. And then instead of throwing this shelf away, I thought, LG, don't throw it away. We can use this to put our like cooking utensils. Like I have rice cooker, and then I have a crock pot, a pressure cooker. And I usually would love to have the air fryer, but I told myself, maybe this summer I'm going to try to eat more healthier. No, not so many air fried things. So yeah, and you see the workspace is not so big, and you probably wonder what is all this on the table, right? These are actually the Swedish bread, the cinnamon bread that I bake. I bake about 88 of this for this season. Hopefully it's enough for at least 1 month because LG, he loves this kind of cinnamon bread. So you see, this again take around half a day. So you really have to plan because a lot of people will come visit, and then for me, I don't really enjoy fika. So this is actually for those people who come visit us. And you can see the storage is not so much. We have just a few pots and pan. I don't really bring a lot, just a few pots and pans, and some of the machine, and some Tupperware or plastic container. And over here I have some pantry that I have food, and I also prioritize those food that I want to bring. So this is flour, some rice, some taco, some pasta, some noodles. These are noodles. And then I only have about 2 conserve and some vitamin. And this is for baking. So sauces, oil, and the rest of the item. So this is all my food storage, please. Right? And we really have to plan. And beside this, there's a fridge, which is considered quite big if you are staying in Singapore, because the freezer is much bigger than the one in Singapore. So right now, I don't want to bring everything from our home. So I only bring those food that I need to cook, like for these few days or for this week. So see, my fridge is not that full. It's quite empty. Yeah, yesterday we have a barbecue, so there was some leftover meat and some strawberries. So I try not to overcrowd my stuff, my fridge also. This kitchen is very, very small. I think it's enough for me to cook here alone, but with LG it can be a little bit cramped. So this take about half a day. And let's see who is here. There's a princess, the Siri. Hey, Siri. Hey. Now Siri has this bed all by herself. So she enjoyed the sun. And yeah, outside today is quite blowing. And we prefer to sit outside, but she likes it inside because it's quiet and it's not so blowing. And just outside, there's one thing that we recently invested in. This is like my dream come true. I always dream about having a hammock. LG was so kind. He said, oh, since you like it, we'll buy it. So yesterday, me and LG, we spent almost a whole morning to assemble this because it was not difficult to assemble, but then we assembled it wrongly. So it became like, you know, something is wrong. It doesn't feel right when we sit on it. Our body just slide down. And these are old furniture. I told him we don't have to buy brand new one. Actually, he wanted to throw them away. I said, just leave it, you know, we can use it because it would be quite nice to have like a sitting place instead of buying new one. It's like consuming, right, money. So now it's not a good time to buy so much stuff. We already invest one hammock, so there's no need. And we have this table that he had in his old house. So we were actually looking for one, and he said, oh, maybe we'll buy one. I said, no, don't. I think I saw one table like that, so we can bring it here. And the height was perfect. So what I did is I bought you know, those plastic tablecloth, and then I just stapled them, so it become a really nice cozy look. What do you guys think? Do you like this idea? I'm not spending. Okay, so let's go. This is also some tips how to save money. Don't need to buy things unnecessarily. So LG said, you want to buy a TV? I said, don't buy TV yet. We take our TV from the home and use it here. Because this TV will be sitting in the house. Why should we buy a brand new one, right? No reason. Maybe you got too much money. And also, I just felt like on this one, this couch is like secondhand. I saw this Singapore dollar about $60, and it's really, really comfy because we like it because it is very high. Me and LG, we are not very tall, so it is high enough for us to rest our head. So it's really comfortable. So why should you buy a brand new one when you can use an old one, right? And recycle one. So, and this also the painting, we bought this at the second hand. I thought this was quite cool. It's a bit abstract, and it just goes very well with the sofa and the color of the wall, don't you think? And also this is also second hand. FG has a friend who have a flea market quite far away from here, about 6 miles. So I always dream of, or he always dream about having this. We call that like a old apothec drawers. So he always wanted to have one. And then I said, just go ahead and buy it. But the one thing really, why it's so cheap, I think we bought it like 100 or 200 crown. I can't remember. Or 150 crown. There's something somewhere is spoiled. I don't know where is it. But you know, we cover them with a cloth. So who knows, right? Yeah. Things that you like, you must have, like this kind of vacuum cleaner, is an investment that helps you to clean, because we have an open fire here. So every time when we light the fire, it will be a lot of dust. So it's really good to have a portable one, so you don't have to, what do you call it, take out the damn vacuum cleaner. Aji is having a nap outside. So here is a tent. We can build a tent. This tent is a long history. If you like to know why, I can tell you later on. But let me just share with you what are the things that we have. This one is also another recycle idea. We have this wood that is lying somewhere. So I told LG, I said, you know, I need a place where I can put herbs. These are herbs. So I found this kind of bricks outside somewhere in the house, around the house. So I said, why don't we build like, you know, two there and two there. And then eventually it became like a table. Right? This, again, you save money on that. Seriously, there's no way there's no way you should spend money necessarily. And over here, because we have one, this morning I repainted it white because sorry for the disconnection. So I'm staying a bit far from the mobile, from the, what do you call that, the internet. That's why. So, but this, I painted it white this morning. So I'm going to write address for the house so that our visitor can come and can know our house number. All this, I said, don't, let me just repaint it and then we can use it. So some thrifty ideas, huh? And he's enjoying himself. Is he awake? And now Siri has her own toilet. So just got through here. There's really nothing much over there. So I'm just going to flip the camera and just continue and recap this. I think that like you saw in this video, now is a time where you shouldn't be spending money. Food is very expensive. So I'm trying to, you know, find things that can be recycled. And if you find this article or this content interesting and would like to follow us for stories and ideas, please subscribe. And then on every Sunday at 14 CET, I am coming on like this to chat with you guys, to keep you guys updated on what is going on and share some good tips with you. So have a nice weekend and I'll see you next Sunday at 14 CET. A lot of you guys, I notice, are having problems with this time. So I'm going to set up a poll in my YouTube community section so that you guys could vote for the time that is more suitable for you. I hope you give this a chance and I'll see you in my next. Have a nice day. Bye bye.